1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. UN Secretary-General urges international community to massively support Pakistan to meet the challenge posed by devastating floods. Antonio Guterres, while visiting the National Flood Response and Coordination Center in Islamabad today, appreciated the rescue and relief activities being carried out in the flood-ravaged areas across the country. Prime Minister says rescue and relief efforts are in full swing in the flood-hit areas and the people have been moved to safer places. Defense Minister says Pakistan is committed to peace and stability in the region with particular focus on relations with Afghanistan and India. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, occupation authorities imposed curfew in Rajouri town today to prevent Muslims from holding demonstrations against the grabbing of Waqf land by extremist Hindu groups. In the last match of the Super 4 phase of Asia Cup, Pakistan will take on Sri Lanka at Dubai today. And now the news in detail. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has appealed the global community to mobilize everything possible to support the people of Pakistan as they have lost their houses, jobs and crops in recent floods. Addressing a joint news conference along with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan needs massive financial support to undertake rescue and relief efforts and meet the challenge of rehabilitation and reconstruction in the flood-hit areas. The UN chief said Pakistan is not making any significant contribution to industrial emissions, but it faces major brunt of the climate change. He said the countries that make most of the emissions should specially do justice by providing massive support to the people of Pakistan to meet this calamity. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif thanked the Secretary-General for visiting the flood-affected people of Pakistan who are facing devastation and destruction due to negative impact of the climate change. Earlier, the UN Secretary-General along with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif visited the National Flood Response and Coordination Center in Islamabad today, where he was given a briefing on the flood situation and rescue and relief activities in the flood-affected areas. The UN chief expressed solidarity with the flood victims and assured that the world body would do its best to raise awareness in the international community about the current situation in Pakistan and to mobilize the full UN system in its support. He was also appreciative of the rescue and relief activities being carried out in the flood-ravaged areas. In his remarks, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif expressed his gratitude to the UN Secretary-General for his message of empathy and support for the people of Pakistan. He said the federal and provincial governments and all stakeholders, including the armed forces, are working together to provide relief and rescue to 33 million affected people. He said our rescue and relief efforts are in full gear and the people have been moved to safer places. He said food and shelter is being offered, but the challenge is huge. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called on Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif in Islamabad today. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister outlined the extensive rescue and relief efforts being undertaken by the government in collaboration with the UN agencies, international community and humanitarian organizations to reach out to the deeply affected people, over 33 million people across the country. He said the UN chief's visit to Pakistan demonstrates strong solidarity with the people of Pakistan at this critical time. The Prime Minister appreciated the Secretary-General's strong support and advocacy for mobilizing international assistance, including the $160 million UN flash appeal to fund Pakistan's flood response plan. He also lauded the Secretary-General's forceful messaging, highlighting the linkage of these floods with the impacts of climate change. A delegation of a private mobile company called on President Dr. Arif Alvi in Islamabad today and presented him a check of 10 million rupees for the rehabilitation of flood-affected people. Speaking on the occasion, the President said the torrential rains and floods have affected millions of people across the country. He urged the business community and well-off people to come forward and help their affected brethren in this difficult time. President Dr. Arif Alvi has stressed on empowering women to enhance their role in national growth and development. He was addressing the launching ceremony of UN Women's Performance Report on Federal Ombudsman Secretariat for Protection Against Harassment in Islamabad today. The President said it is our social responsibility to create conducive environment for women to enable them get quality education and pursue their careers. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Defense Minister Khwaja Mohammad Asif says Pakistan is committed to peace and stability in the region, with particular focus on its relations with Afghanistan and India. Talking to French ambassador to Pakistan, Nicolas Galley, in Islamabad today, he said resolution of Kashmir dispute is necessary for lasting peace in the region. The defense minister said Pakistan attaches great importance to its relations with France, both bilaterally and in the context of the European Union. He said Pakistan will continue to work closely with France on all matters of bilateral interest. He also called for collaboration in addressing global challenges such as terrorism and extremism. The French envoy appreciated Pakistan's role in regional stability and assured to play his role for further improvement in diplomatic cooperation with Pakistan at all levels. Finance Minister Miftah Ismail has reiterated the government's commitment to provide all kinds of facilities to Chinese investors in the country. He was presiding over a meeting in Islamabad today in which issues of outstanding payments to Chinese independent power producers and other hurdles faced by them in the country were discussed. The Finance Minister also formed a committee comprising representatives from Finance and Power Divisions and CPEC to hold meetings with Chinese IPPs on regular basis to address and resolve their concerns. The CEOs of the Chinese IPPs expressed their satisfaction over addressing and resolving their issues. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Modi-led fascist Indian government has intensified its attempts to efface the Muslim identity and impose Hindutva ideology in the territory. According to Kashmir Media Service, backed by the communal Modi regime, the Hindutva goons of RSS and Bajrang Dal have forcibly occupied a piece of Muslim Waqf land in Rajouri town. They are also not allowing the reconstruction work of a historic mosque in the town. The occupation authorities imposed curfew in Rajouri town today to prevent the Muslims from holding demonstrations against the grabbing of Waqf land by the Hindu extremist groups. In the United Kingdom, the plans are in place for the funeral arrangements of the Queen Elizabeth. King Charles III, who became the new monarch immediately, has left for London and is expected to address the nation today. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has written a condolence letter to British Prime Minister Elizabeth Truss, expressing grief over the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Through the letter, the Prime Minister extended sympathies of the entire Pakistani nation to the British royal family, the government and people of the United Kingdom. He said as the longest reigning Queen, Elizabeth II played a key role in bringing positive change in not only the United Kingdom but throughout the world. And now cricket. In the last match of Super 4 phase of Asia Cup, Pakistan will take on Sri Lanka in Dubai today. The match will start at 7 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Both the teams will also meet in the final at the same venue on Sunday. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and humid weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain with thundershowers is expected at isolated places in northeastern Punjab, Islamabad, Gilgit-Baltistan, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Kashmir. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News.